Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another market analysis, review, recap, whatever. So, yeah, I'll be going over my trade today. I took a long, which ended up being a break even, and I'll just kind of go over what I was looking at. So, starting off here, we can see that on the news calendar we have CPI news release today, Tuesday, May 12th. So I would look for setups after this news release, as little as 5 minutes after the news release. I'd be already looking at the market. So that's one thing to keep in mind. When we go to the chart, we can see that we are tapping into a daily fair value gap. So I don't want to be the one to be kind of like saying, oh, we're overdue a retracement, we're going to go lower, because from what we've seen in the market as of recently, every time we tap into some internal range of liquidity or fair value gap on the daily, we just continue higher. So I'm going to expect that until I'm proven wrong, basically. So we're tapping into this internal range liquidity in the form of the fair value gap. And now if we got a previous week low or previous day low SMT, that would confirm this idea of going from internal range liquidity to external range liquidity. So on the higher time frame, I am bullish. Then when we go to our intermediate term time frame, this is what it was looking like at around 8:30 in the morning. So as you can see, this is the bearish range I'm looking at, and we can see that we have a previous day low SMT. NQ closed below previous day low, while ES didn't take it out, and YM also didn't take it out. So there is the previous day low. So that is confirmation that I am looking for higher prices today. So pretty straightforward. So I would need a low time frame bullish SMT. It could be either a 15-minute bullish SMT with previous session low or previous 90-minute low SMT on the 5-minute. So whichever comes first. So bias for today is bullish. Invalidation of my bias would be invalidation of the previous day low SMT. When am I looking for a trade? It's 8:35 a.m. and it's a previous session low or previous 90-minute low. So this was the trade. Let me show you. Alright, so that was, yeah, okay, so we can see here that, actually maybe I'll just show you here on the chart is a bit better. Wow, market is super bearish right now. Anyway, so at the time I was looking at this, if I could go back, would be cool. So around this point, we can see that we had a previous session low SMT, NQ closed below previous session low at 8:30, and if we go here to 8:30, ES hadn't closed below previous session low. YM at 8:30 also hadn't even taken out previous session low. So, and then we got a bullish change in state delivery right here after the CPI news event. So this is where I entered. I entered here, and I targeted just higher, all-time highs. And I was also looking at this range right here, this little box, so to speak, because we saw price first support from here, and then kind of like find resistance and resistance. So if we got some bullish displacement past this zone, it'd be a good place to kind of mitigate risk. So I kept the trade open. It was a pre-market trade, and then I think, right, so this was a really nice reaction right off the open. We dug lower, and then we're pushing higher, and we closed above all this liquidity. So this is when I brought my stops to break even. And then we quickly got rejected instantly lower. I mean, yeah, so it was a break-even trade, and yeah, but overall, I think the management was good and correct. I wouldn't have done anything differently. Uh, and then later in the session, as you can see, I can just put it to now, but later in the session, all assets close below previous session low, invalidating the previous session low SMT. And then when we go to the 90-minute chart, all assets have taken out previous day low, which also invalidates the bullish high time frame idea. So yeah, that's about it. So now looking at the market, kind of like what will it do now? We're going into tomorrow. It's difficult to say, but we are clearly, not responding from this daily fair value gap right here, where we seem to be like we're wanting to invert it. And if we do in fact invert it, then we could look at this swing low as the next internal range liquidity that price would be trading towards. So yeah, depending on how the rest of the day reacts, I think tomorrow I'll be looking for more bearishness until this swing low if we invert this fair value gap. But yeah, that's about it for the day. I can show here my break even was a whopping $8.35. The win streak is back on track. I'm kidding. Let's hope that this is the start of things starting to turn around on my trading. So yeah, that's about it. Hope this was insightful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.